You're on.
I'm on. Okay.
The views and opinions on this program are not necessarily those of WSTU Digital 1450. The opinions expressed are those of the program hosts and guests. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time now for the Martin County Difference with your host, dancing realtor Julia Sansevere.
Hi, good evening, everyone out there in
Radio Land.
In Radio
Yes.
Land and Facebook Land. How are you? I'm Julia Sansevere. Welcome to the Martin County Difference. We are live, coming to you from downtown Stuart, and it is Thanksgiving Eve, November 22nd, 2017. Wow. Woo!
I know, it's amazing.
It's amazing. We are getting into the holiday season, so I hope you're going to be joining your family and your friends tomorrow and gathering together to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. This is the season for trains, planes, and automobiles. If you were watching the news, I couldn't believe it. I saw LA yesterday. Oh, just packed. But anyway, this is our weekly show to talk about fun things, good things. There's a lot of negativity out there right now, so I'm going to I'm spreading positivity.
There you go.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And I'm your dancing realtor because I'm at Coldwell Banker, and I'm here to help you dance to the closing table. I've got a lot of market expertise, and I've been in the business here in Stuart, Martin County for about 12 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah, and making great strides, and I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the people I work with, and I love my office. I've been at Coldwell Banker the whole time. And hello, Mark Huffnagel. He's a great manager there. And Laura and Susan are our admin, and they are excellent. So if you need any real estate services, please do call me. I'm at 772-919-1385. And my webpage is just my name. So you can look at my listings there, juliasansevere.com. And Facebook, it's Julia Sansevere, Florida Waterfront Specialist. And of course, we've got the Martin County Difference.
Right.
And I love doing this because my background is broadcasting. And I just want to say, I'm very thankful to my audience. This is the time to be grateful and have gratitude. So I really am. I am thankful. And I want to have everybody be careful traveling. I want to thank my husband, Richard, who's here with me week in and week out, and Frank, our engineer here, for putting this show on with me. It's really a lot of fun. And I hope you keep tuning in Wednesday night and sharing the show. Share the page. And it's all about love and hope. And tonight is about love and hope in action. So we're going to get to that a little bit later.
What a great segue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well
Lahia.
Wow.
And it is a joy and a privilege for me to meet the people like my guest tonight, Brenda Dickerson, who are in our area and doing great things. Yeah. And then last week, this past weekend, I was able to attend an event of somebody who had been on the show before, Artists for a Cause, their Dance for Food event.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. So good. I wanted to shout out to Terry Barber, and, you know, he was amazing. He sang the music from Les Mis, which he's going to be appearing at the Lyric in January, and he's going to be on the show before that in January, so look for that.
And a little bit of a tease then.
Yeah, a little tease.
All right.
And Anna Preston is the artistic director, and she arranged all the choreographers, and the dancers were exquisite. And every dance was unique and told a beautiful story. And they put on the best show. I'm telling you, it was a full hour. And then before that show started, they had two wonderful young female singers. When I say young, they were 12 and 14. And out of these little bodies came these huge, beautiful voices.
Wow.
And one of them, the younger one, she's 12, she's going to be in Annie at Starstruck.
Oh, how cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is my next thing to segue to, because Starstruck, we all love Starstruck. If you don't know about Starstruck, then where have you been? They are struggling right now. Their lease ends in February. And the owner of the building has put it up for sale. So they're not extending their lease.
Right.
And that means they've either got to get out or hope that somebody comes along and buys it and says, yes, you can stay. Well, that's like, who knows?
Right.
Or they can buy it. And so right now there's a capital campaign going on, and I hope everybody will go to their page on Facebook at Starstruck Performing Arts, or go to their website, starstruckfl.org. and donate today. And every dollar counts. Every day you could do something, a little something. You know, instead of going to Starbucks, go to Starstruck and give your $5 that you would have had a cup of coffee. But it is just a great theater for children, the performing arts, and they also want to become part of STEAM instead of STEM education, which is science, technology, engineering, and math.
Right.
They want to be the A in STEM and make it STEAM and be part of the arts and the curriculum for the Martin County school system. Wouldn't that be good if we had a real performing arts center here that was part of the school system? So everybody pull out your pockets. You know, I know we've had a lot going on with hurricanes and things like that. But our children are important, and our future for them is important. And arts is an incredible, amazing, I think I call it the glue that holds everything else together. It's the softer side of life, you know, and it's curative. When you've got something going on, you can express it with an acting, you know, role, or singing a song, drawing a painting, you know, painting a painting, drawing some art, and writing. You know, I mean, this is the way we express ourselves. So I hope everybody will go to starstruckfl.org and donate. And I'm going to be there live in December before Annie.
Nice.
Which is sold out. They might have to add a performance. They had to add one for Cats. So I think we're going to, hopefully they'll add one for Annie.
Yeah.
But I got the last 5 seats on Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm going with some friends, and I'm really excited about that. But our community needs to help them, so please donate. They would like to stay in that building. It's a great location on Canner Highway. They can store their props and costumes and have a scene shop there. And they want to grow it and have classrooms and have more people come. And, you know, somebody wrote on Facebook, well, don't you make enough money? You know, like, no, they're a 501c3, and everything they take in for classes pays for the teachers and to keep the lights on. But it's certainly not enough to lift them up off the ground and purchase the building, which I heard they want around, the owner wants around $2 to $2.5 million, something like that.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
you need to come
so
up with some
serious
coin.
dough. And Michael Smythe, he is David Smythe, I think is his name.
Right.
Came up with an
He's a
incredible
philanthropist,
yes, with $1 million. Like, Mr. Smythe, come on, just buy the building
Yeah.
and rent it back to them. And then, you know, we'll all
Yeah, that's
buy
plan
shares.
B, yeah.
Right, plan B,
Yeah.
you know. But they are so talented there, and Jennifer and Peter Jones are doing a great job, and they create magic. It's just really great. And these kids, this is their second home away from home. So that's going to be December 14th to the 17th, Annie. So keep calling them and pestering them so they'll add an extra performance. And then Karen Leone is my hostess with the mostest there. She's going to take us on a backstage tour again.
She is so much fun.
Oh, she's great. She's great. So that'll be December 6th. So stay tuned. And then next week, I'm going to be coming to you live from a remote location again with the Women's Club of Stewart is having the big holiday home tour. That's another one you got to get your tickets for now, quickly, because they will sell out. That's the first Sunday in December. So you can go to the womensclubofstewart.org and Google them and get a ticket. But the big sponsor party, my husband and I are sponsors of the event, so we're going to be coming to you from Audi Stewart.
Nice.
Next week, yeah, so you can tune in on the radio or on Facebook Live. It'll be fun. Big gala sponsor party. And speaking of sponsors, I wanted to thank my sponsor for the show tonight is Gary and Terry Molka, TC Palm Home Inspections. And they do a great job. And I encourage all my customers to get a pre-listing inspection. If they're going to put their house on the market, you know, why be stuck with when the buyer has their inspection and they hang it over your head like, oh, this is broken or this is not working. You got to fix it or I'm not buying your house. So it makes sense, and it's economical, and they're a really good inspection company. They serve St. Lucie and Martin and Palm Beach counties, fully licensed and insured, and they will do the pre-inspection, like I said, but obviously the home inspection, and they do it for the buyers and the sellers.
Right.
And they do insurance inspections too, which include wind mitigation, 4-point inspections, and roof certifications. So call Gary. And it's not so scary when you call Inspector Gary, 772-678-8133, and check out their website at tcpalmhomeinspections.com. And I sponsor my show in my own way by being a realtor and selling people's homes and helping them transition and buy and sell. So I just want to tell you really quickly about a brand new ocean access condo I have.
Wow.
It is so beautiful.
Ocean access.
Ocean access. And
Nice.
townhouse, all renovated, comes furnished,
Wow.
very stylish.
Wow.
Guard-gated waterfront community, 2 pools, tennis courts, a marina, so close to everything. Guess how much and where that is?
I have not a
Sounds
clue.
like $1 million.
Yeah,
Right? Well,
right.
it's under $300,000.
Wow.
I know. Waterfront access to the ocean, and so convenient. And it's in Mariner Cay,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's a very special place to me because I live there.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is really a sweet community, a really
Wow.
hidden jewel on the Treasure Coast. So give me a call at 772-919-1385. If you think you might like to see it, I'd be happy to set up an appointment for you. And if you've got horses and yachts,
Yeah.
I've got the 5-acre place I was telling about last week.
Yeah.
I'm listing out there. Now that's a cool $2 million, but it is
Very
everything new. Everything just so gorgeous, and it's all on my website. And you click and see the virtual tour. You'll just be
I love
blown
those
away.
virtual tours. They're
Yeah.
so neat.
Oh, and this one's really good because it flies over, and you see, you really feel like you're in your. He is the steady cam. He goes through the house.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like you're really there. So, and I'm going to be going to Thanksgiving, so just a shout out to my family in Texas. Love you all. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Leave crack of dawn tomorrow, and it's going to be great. I'm going with my appetite,
Yeah.
ready to deposit some good turkey and stuffing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank my audience most of all. So I'm very grateful. We've had some things to be grateful for, and we have some things to pray for.
Things we have to work on.
And we
Yes.
have to work on.
Yes.
So yes, but back to the show tonight. This is a radio talk show where I do speak with people who are making a difference. It is all about hope and love in action tonight, because I have Brenda Dickerson. She's the executive director at Love and Hope in Action, and she's spreading positivity just like this show. Come on over and bring your positivity with you, Brenda, and your beautiful sweet smile. And she lives in Stewart, and she studied at Hope Sound Bible College, and she is married to Steve Dickerson, who was very tired today. Said that he was working very hard today, and he's in the plumbing contracting business. And I heard that the plumbing business, plumbers are the busiest at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And you could think, 2 and 2, like eating lots of food,
Right.
things get stopped down the sink,
Right.
things get stopped up in the toilet.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking, I was wondering if that has anything to do with it. I don't know.
Probably.
But hello,
Yeah.
Brenda. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming in on this Thanksgiving Eve. You might have turned me down and said, oh no, I'm busy cooking. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, there'll be 32 family members meeting at my sister's house, and I'm snapping beans with the help of my daughter and husband for 32 people.
Oh my
5 bags.
Have you snapped the beans yet? Or are you going to do it live tomorrow?
It'll be tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Oh my gosh.
And my dogs will be sitting there waiting for us to throw them a few.
They like the beans?
My labs, yes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Aw.
Well, I'm lucky that I don't have to snap any beans or do anything. Usually I do take something. I was thinking I would take some nuts or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Here's some appetizers. Those will go in my suitcase and they won't have a problem with it. But I met you first last year in December. Toward the very end of the year, you were on the broadcast at the December 28th, the turn of the year, and you had a lot going on then and even more going on now. And so we talked on the phone. I want to touch on that. But tell everybody what Love and Hope in Action is and is all about. And I love the nickname of the acronym is LaHaya.
LaHaya.
It sounds like a happy thing.
LaHaya is a daytime shelter for the homeless and indigent in Martin County. And if they can get to us, we're there to help them out. We have showers and laundry services that are free to them Monday through Friday, and showers also available on Saturday. 2 hot meals Monday through Saturday as well. Open to anyone in the community who's having trouble with their grocery bill or just hungry. They can receive their mail there. We get a lot of donated bicycles that come in and need some sort of repair, most of them. So we'll get those fixed up, and they're walking to most of the places where they're needing to go. So if they can have bicycles, help them get to their location a little easier. Otherwise, the transportation that takes them a little further will help them get there, either with bus tickets or giving them a ride.
That's wonderful. And I was reading your newsletter, and let's tell everybody the website. It's lahia.org, right? Just LAHIA. It stands for Love and Hope in Action. And on Facebook. And you've got a great newsletter, and I was reading that today. You have a quarterly newsletter that's so nice because you bring the good news stories.
Right.
And you really do. You're changing lives with getting people their driver's license, their birth certificates. I can't even imagine, you know?
The ID. If they don't have an ID,
Right.
we have partner resources out here in Martin County that are there to help folks as well. But some of them require an ID to get them started, so they'll send them to us. To get an ID, you need to have a birth certificate, which most of them do not have.
Yeah.
So we'll, get a money order, find the application process for that particular vital records location, and generally you can get it within a couple of weeks, and then you can get the ID, Social Security card, and these are American citizens who lost their identity, the proof of identity.
Yes.
For any number of reasons.
What are
And
some of the
it's
reasons?
still-
Like, did they become homeless through fire, or a loss of job? Those are some of the reasons, right?
Many reasons. There's
And
addictions.
Addiction,
And
yeah.
hang-ups. There's loss of job, loss of physical ability, there's mental disabilities, divorce, a failed relationship, and one of them's out on the street. There's
Yeah.
domestic abuse situations, so we work with Safe Space as well. Lots of different reasons why
That's
people
good,
are homeless.
yeah.
To be stereotypical with it is not fair to the people.
That's what I like to get deeper, peel the onion back, because there's a new term out there, our neighbors without walls. They really are our neighbors, and living in tents in the woods just doesn't seem right. In our day and age, we may have been settlers at one point in time, but we've gone beyond that, and plumbing and indoor, heating and air conditioning, especially the elements, and like I can't imagine being outside and the mosquitoes here. That would drive me nuts. Just that, getting sunset comes and I've got to be inside. I can't be outside. So, and we don't have a shelter per se for men here or women, but we do have these services, which is wonderful that you do provide the meals and the ability to get clean, the ability to write a resume, the ability to get their identity back, their proof of identity is amazing.
Yeah, we have emergency food pantry.
Yes.
And also clothing, and we get a lot of clothing that's donated. A shortage of men's clothes and shoes. Today we had a gentleman that wears size 13.
Oh.
We don't really have many of those sitting around.
No.
So we have a wish list that we'll probably talk about later.
Yes, let's do that. And so just touching on that, so people can do a drop-off of clothing and shoes?
Anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, we're open 9 in the morning to about 6:30 in the evening, Monday through Friday.
On Salerno Road.
Right?
Right.
Saturdays 9 a.m. to about 2:30, and then we're closed on Sunday. But there is a large container at the end of the front porch that they can drop their clothing and bedding and that sort of thing in anytime.
Yeah. And what's so nice is how it started out, your history in May 2017, just serving a couple of hot dogs, right? To some people.
2007. You said
Two,
20.
what did I say? 2017,
Yeah.
2007.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah, I meant that. I can't even hear myself think sometimes. But yeah, so, and hey, Terry Bulka's on, and Colleen said she can't hardly hear. Uh-oh. So we need to come closer and also speak up because the Facebook phone. So thank you, Colleen, for letting me know. Let me know if it's any better. I'll just keep talking louder because we've got the phone over there, and as far as I know, it's going out over the radio. And this will be a podcast later, so you can catch it later on Facebook again, and also on the radio on the podcast because I transferred over, and on YouTube. So we'll try to speak up because, yeah, we get the illusion that we can hear ourselves. We don't know if you can hear us. So thanks, Colleen. And thanks, Lisa Pinkley, for joining. And T.C. Palm is great. That's right. So now you hear me fine. Okay, good. Phew. I'd hate to go through the whole broadcast. We did that one time, and we found out we had muffled something accidentally.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will talk out to the crowd. And so May 2007, that's where it all began. And what was the experience that you had at that point in time? It was out of a car, right? You were serving people out of coolers and...
No, the first Saturday in May of 2007 began with a couple gentlemen who were out in the, they'd go out into the woods, out into the campsites, and minister to the folks and invite them to church and, explain the gospel to them.
Oh, okay.
We're
Great.
faith-based, so we're
Right.
not shy about why we're doing this is for him. So they would talk to them and take them something to eat, maybe a blanket, and we decided to get a group together and just have a cookout on a Saturday. So the gentleman invited about a dozen folks that they knew were campers, and that's how we started, and we never stopped. It was every Saturday for a few years. Then we were able to work out of a local church and do lunches during the week, opened a little food pantry, and then it just kept mushrooming.
Okay. It's you they're having trouble hearing, so you do need to speak up that way.
Okay,
Because this will get you fine. It's that over there, the people out in Facebook land.
gotcha.
So thank you. So you're a cheerleader.
Trying to talk to you, but look at
I know. You don't have to talk
Yeah.
to me. Don't worry. We'll just look that way. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I do know that is wonderful. It's through a faith-based operation that you are helping all of these people. And that's wonderful, and that also that is the giving spirit of our community.
Mm-hmm.
And you were telling me when you just got here, you said it's been like incredible. Don't keep it from coming, keep it coming.
Right.
But you've been very fortunate that this is a Thanksgiving week, and people seem to be in that giving spirit, and they're giving and giving and giving. And you said it was like a revolving door. You've been very busy.
Yeah, extra generous. Right now we're going through a renovation, turning our tiny residential-sized kitchen into a commercial size. So a large part of our building is not accessible right now. So when it comes to storage, we're just trying to fill every nook and cranny with cases of food. Food drives have been going on, the Boy Scout food drive. Well, it was the girls as well this year. Churches are bringing food in, and the something else big, Seacoast.
Oh, Seacoast, thank you for
Several
telling me. Yeah.
branches.
Now, Mary Ellen Holson Huff says, "Speak up loudly, Brenda. Pretend you are your noisy sister, Mary."
Okay, put on your earmuffs.
Go ahead. And it might help to take one of these earphones off half, so
Okay.
because it's an illusion that you're talking as loud as you are, but you're hearing yourself back from the radio. But
True.
that's where we need to shoot it out to. Thank you, Mary. We will keep up the flow here.
It's her house. We'll have 32 people at tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, Mary, you are a saint. 32 people. Where does everybody sit?
It's a huge house.
It's a huge house.
Very
Okay,
large-
that's good.
Very large yard.
Okay, good. So you can sit out in the yard even. That's
If
nice.
it doesn't rain, it doesn't look
doesn't
too
rain.
promising.
Well,
Oh.
I think that's an indoor day, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
Oh.
have jigsaw puzzles, which is something we
Jigsaw
have to do.
puzzles. That's
and
great.
Games and lots of kids.
Good. Well, I'll be in Huntsville, Texas, at my mother's house that is turned into a B&B. It used to be the Whistler, because her grandfather had a very melodious whistle, and she named it for him. And for
Ah.
30 years, she was very hospitable and took in people, because her mother, it was never a hotel or anything before, but during the war years and all of that, she would always have boarders come and stay. She always had food at the back door. She never turned anyone away.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, that's in our family too, that hospitality and generosity of spirit. And my mother was my first broker in Texas. Hi, Mom. And so she was in real estate, and I think that transcends the housing. That's the home.
Mm.
You really, it's meaningful to help people get a home, have a home, sell their home if they need to, but to move on. And our home is our nest, and it's the place where we gather and love. So it kills me that people are still homeless in this world.
Mhm.
I get a little choked up. So I'm very grateful to Love and Hope in Action to at least ease their pain. And a lot of them, several of them, have gotten out of homelessness
Sure.
through your assistance.
Right. The Client Services Department is the main hub of what we're doing, and without that, it wouldn't be necessary. And Chris Taylor, I have to shout out
Chris
to her.
Taylor!
She's incredible. She has a special heart for these folks. She was homeless at one point in her life when her son was small, living out of
Aw.
a car for a little while. She's come through a lot of stuff in life and conquered a lot of, just call them demons in her past.
Wow, I really didn't know that. And
Yeah.
you guys were both here the last time.
And she's gotten over a lot of things.
Wow.
And, so she can really relate to the folks, and it's easy for them to open up to her and share their story and what brought them to where they're at
Yeah.
this point in life. probably more so than me for sure, and some other folks who are just not standoffish, but a little more on the business end of what needs to be done there. But she's been phenomenal and really can relate to them. So she finds out what their deal is and what they need. She knows the resources that are available in the community and the phone numbers and the contact person, and she just gets them set in the right direction.
Wow.
You know, we're helping them with the basic needs to get their identity back, get a little more nutrition into them, help them with their medications, doctor's visits, that sort of thing. But she'll sit and chat with them one-on-one and let them unload, and
That's what you
They need
need.
it.
You need a friend. You need a listening ear. You need somebody to understand. And we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so it's always good to use them in that order and that relation. And just so you know, there is a phone number, 772-781-7002. If you know somebody who needs assistance, please give, LaHaya a call. And they're at 1760 Southeast Salerno Road. I was so excited when I first met you that I didn't really know where you were, and then you said where you were. So the next time I'm driving along Salerno Road, I'm like, there's LaHaya! And somebody donated the land and the building, is that right?
we were leasing it for the first about 4 years.
Yes.
And the gentleman who had purchased it did not intend to be a landlord. He was going to flip it. He was down in Miami area. But it wasn't selling for a couple of years, so we found out that it was just sitting empty and offered to lease it from him while we tried to figure out what our future held. Didn't have the money when the 2-year lease came up. We had the option to buy, so a big sign went out beside our marquee. A donor found out about our plight through a volunteer and came through on a Sunday afternoon, didn't want anyone to know who he was, but allowed me to meet him and his wife, and said, I'm going to make sure that you can purchase this place, and I'm going to wire you the money. I don't want any cards or plaques or trophies or any recognition. I don't even want my name out there, but I want this to be yours. I can see what you're doing is definitely needed here, and I think it's terrific.
Oh, Brenda,
so
that
within
is.
a month and a half.
Gives me
it's
goosebumps.
closed.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. And now that we have roots, the community sees we're here to stay, and we're pitching in. There's about 31 churches that contribute in some way.
We
We have
and
lots
you have
of
Publix
Publix is a
big
contributor.
supporter.
Bonefish Grill,
Bonefish.
Chick-fil-A, of course.
Chick-fil-A.
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Barber's
That's good.
Produce.
Oh, Barber's. Yeah, up in Jensen Beach.
Roarbeck's. All
And
of these
Roarbeck's
places,
over here in Stewart. That's wonderful.
They give us food every week. We have volunteers that go pick it up, and that's the basis for our good meals, especially our dinners.
Right. And volunteers. Let's talk about the volunteers. They're good people.
Well, there's only 2 of us that are on salary.
Right.
The rest are about 110, 115 volunteers. Some are seasonal, but without them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing.
No.
And they're phenomenal. And even a lot of the clients or campers, whatever you want to call them, they pitch in. Today we had a couple that were just nonstop from breakfast till
Aw.
I left at 5:30, and they were still going strong, finishing up dinner.
That's nice. I noticed you call them campers. That's a sweet term. And so, and
Yeah.
it's throughout your information on the website too. And I was like, so what? How did that come about to call them
Well, they're
campers?
camping. They're camping in the woods. Some
Yeah.
are camping out in
Okay.
their cars.
Yeah.
Homeless has all its own connotations, and generally they are homeless, but Chris will call them her peeps.
That's great. Well, and on, do you have a lot of men, or is it more women? Are there families?
There are families. It's probably 2/3 men, a lot of women of a variety of ages. We have a lot of young people right now.
Really?
Yeah,
How young
unfortunately.
are we talking?
We're talking
Millennials?
teens, and
Teens?
young adults. Yeah,
Oh.
lots of different situations. But there are families that come through, some on the verge of homelessness, just having trouble being able to choose, do I pay the rent, or do I pay our medications, or do I
Oh.
get groceries,
Yeah.
So if we can help with the food bill, that's a significant help to a lot of people, especially larger families.
That's good.
Food stamps only go so far,
Yeah.
and when the school year is done, in the summer, they've lost their breakfast and lunch free meals.
Oh.
So we see a lot more in the summer of families.
Well, you truly are doing God's work. And I introduced you as having attended Hopestown Bible College. And when was that?
I actually grew up there in the academy from first grade through 1 year of college.
Oh, my
My
gosh.
parents worked there for 20 years. Dad was the director of finance.
How interesting.
And Mom was the elementary principal secretary until were done with school, and then she was Dad's secretary. They were there 20 years.
Ah.
Still helping out in the retirement
They're
years.
still there? Oh.
They still help, yeah.
That's wonderful. And do you have siblings? You have a sister who's noisy. Right, Mary.
That's her, yes.
You gotta talk up. You gotta
That's
beat Mary. You gotta
And
beat
then,
her.
My baby sister, Charlene. She's
Charlene.
5 years younger than me. And
Oh.
adopted sister, Lenita, who also
Oh.
grew up down there.
Oh, that's great. And then now you live in Stewart?
I do,
Okay, so an easy commute?
very much.
That's good. Well, of all the people, what's one of your favorite stories? Without naming names, but, a situation. Because I was reading the newsletter, and there was quite a few good stories that have come out lately even.
Mhm. There are. I'm going to go back to an older one. When we worked out of a local church, a gentleman came out of prison, and he had quite a life, some really rough spots.
Mm.
And when he came to us, he was homeless and alone, and didn't have a job, didn't really have anything to count as his own, and was a very broken man. But he was a worker. He was not afraid to work. So he would pitch in and help with the meal. We were just doing a lunch that time in a small food pantry, but he would work from the beginning and do whatever needed to be done. A gentleman on our board hired him in his landscape company, and shortly after he was using his extra truck, and he was kind of just working all the time. He was able to rent a place, met a lady with a little boy who didn't have a father figure in his life. They started dating and got married.
Aww.
And they're still married, and they have a place of their own that they're renting. He's still working, and when I see them, he's always waving real big. I'll never forget them. They've been terrific. So that's a success story going on 8 or 9 years now.
That's what's so good is that it's retained its goodness. And, because you think about the things you hear about today, the opioid crisis, and people just cannot get beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice when they don't fall back into whatever situation that, that they could get out of it, that they could stay out of it. And that most people do want to come back into, matriculate into society and become a producing, a productive person, have a job. We all want to feel valued and important and validated. And I think that what you do there is completely validating of them. And it's monumental because we're talking with Brenda Dickerson, if you just tuned in, with Love and Hope in Action, right here in Stewart on the Treasure Coast, doing God's work, literally, helping people get back on their feet, helping them get a hot meal 6 times a week, 2 times a day, which is amazing. And we're going to be going live from there come January or February. We talked about that, to see the kitchen and see what's going on there, get a backstage tour. I like going on remote now. It's a lot of fun.
It would be.
Getting out of the radio station, and Frank's back here, plugging me in and everything. But I think it would be a lot of fun for people to see what you do and how you do it. And as long as you have good Wi-Fi and lights, we're good.
We'll be fine.
Okay.
I can't wait. I've been giving tours every single day to new people and current volunteers, and every day it's something different that's coming along with it. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and expanding the kitchen. Tell me how big the kitchen is. I saw the floor plan on your website. It was tiny. It was
Very
like
tiny.
a house kitchen, and now you blew out the walls, and it's huge.
So the first thing I can think of to give you a comparison is our current kitchen is the size of a lemon.
Uh-huh.
Our new kitchen's going to be the size of the biggest watermelon you've ever seen. That's the only thing that comes to my mind.
That's good.
But it's going to be significantly larger. And right now they're just bumping elbows constantly. 3 people in the kitchen.
I can't imagine.
More than enough.
I know.
Your kitchen at home is probably twice the size of what we're working out of. And we're feeding 60 to 70 people twice a day, 6
That's
days a week.
amazing.
With 1 residential size stove.
Whoa!
And a little sink.
How is
So
that?
our volunteers are phenomenal because I'm
Yeah.
not sure that I could do that day
No.
after day after day for years.
Yeah, right. And you've been doing it 10 years, so you're to be commended. This is an anniversary of sorts.
Yeah, this
10
past
years.
May was.
Past May, right. Well, that's amazing. And I think, Heather Saunders, hi, and Brian Moriarty, and Dawn Gilmore, hi, Dawn, and Donna Moore. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have Brenda Dickerson from Love and Hope in Action in the studio tonight, and we're going to be going to the actual site in January or February. We're going to figure out the date to see what's going on there. Big doings. The kitchen's being blown out, and so going from a teeny tiny kitchen to a nice big kitchen to really help accommodate all these people with the meals that you do. And thanks to Publix and other restaurants in town, like Bonefish, we were talking about that they contribute the food, Roarbacks and Barber's produce stands. So this is wonderful community effort on the part of everyone there. And the fact that people can come there and take a shower, do some laundry, you know, it's the services you have are great. And the clothing pantry, if you have a drop off of clothing, they needed a size 13 of men's shoes the other day, yesterday.
Yeah.
So any size works, and so if you've got shoes or clothing for men, women, or children, because Brenda's saying that not children so much, but the teenagers you're starting to have.
Right.
But they, you know, do the children the clothes. Okay,
We'll
so
pass those on to 4Cs.
Oh, okay.
Some other places that handle children.
so men and women's
Yeah.
clothing. Okay.
Men's shorts and pants, specifically jeans and work pants. Waist sizes 29 to 36 are a hot necessity.
Wow.
And the shoes, of course, men's boxers and extra large T-shirts and large. They don't come and do their laundry quite as often as the girls. So they run out a little quicker. And
Yeah.
if they're working, they're just not going to last as long.
Right, right. And, you know, back to the numbers, how many people you've helped. You help a lot of people, but just in this last quarter, I was reading, so 27 state ID cards were issued, 30 privileged homeless clients received their driver's license, 24 found employment, 6 are attending Indian River State College. That's amazing. And 31 transitioned from homelessness into housing. Give me a high five. That's awesome.
Or got a bus ticket to go back home.
Yeah, 11 started a new journey via Greyhound bus.
Mhm.
That is astounding. That's what could be better on Thanksgiving Eve than to feel gratitude for Love and Hope in Action, to do all this. And I love you say, all in a day's work. Just, you know, and how people are helping themselves. You know, they commit to doing certain things as well. Like you'll do half, if they'll do the other half. You know, so they're earning it.
That's Chris's motto. I'll meet you 50-50.
Yeah.
You got to do your part. I'm going to help you get a hand back up here to get you boosted forward, and then you got to do your part. We can't do it all for you.
Right, which is so good because people do want to feel that sense of value, that they've earned it, and the sense of worth. And so the employment opportunities are great, that you're getting people out there, helping them write a resume, right? Right. And do you help them with the interview process, how to be in an interview? Does anybody help them with that?
A lot of it's day labor.
Mm.
There are other opportunities. There's a couple restaurants that are hiring, seems like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll give them the name and number of whoever has contacted us, address, bus ticket to get there if they don't have a bike. We try to be picky about who we're recommending because we want it
To work.
yeah, of course.
and to keep referring people.
We can tell the ones who are really wanting to make a difference and those that aren't.
That's
so
good.
Rewarding those that are trying to help themselves.
Well, and I like the other phrase that you're not living until you're giving. It's part of your motto.
I came up with that one.
I like that, Brenda.
My dad has always been about giving, and his father was the same, so it's a generational thing.
Yeah. Well, I find that I saw a story about a woman who started feed the children of the world with her bags. She's got "feed" as the logo on it, and then it says all the children of the world underneath. It was just on the news today. So there are so many good people out there. It's really nice to see. It's refreshing because we need more of those stories to outweigh the ones, you know, that I call it yellow journalism because it is. You know, the things that grab the headlines.
Right.
You know, we've got some headlines going on right now, which are unfortunate. But underneath all that and beyond all that are good people wanting good things for all the rest of us. And that's what really gives me hope. I'm really happy to know these people exist. And we need to hear more about them. You know, the Brenda Dickersons of the world and Lahia. And was it your idea who started Lahia, by the way?
No, it was two gentlemen, Mike and Larry. They were brother-in-laws.
Oh,
And
okay.
Larry was a recovering addict of his own, and he had quite a miracle. What's the word?
Yeah, talk out that way.
It was pretty much a voice from heaven with him. He was at work, and he said he physically heard God saying him, it's time to make a change.
Wow.
And he was able to quit cold turkey. Ridiculous
That is
addictions.
amazing.
And that's not everybody's fortunate story, but it made an impact on him, and he wanted to make a difference in other people's lives, and he saw the amount of homeless folks that were around, and he and his brother-in-law Mike decided that at least we could feed them. So that's how they started, and we were friends with them and a couple other people who wanted to get involved, and it was providential that we all kind of were coming together at one point and decided to do something about it. But there was probably 30 people at that first little coalition we had, and then we started to form a board and got our tax exemption.
Whoops, Frank's phone.
501c3 process was interesting.
How did that come about?
That was amazing. It's supposed to take about a year to get through the process to be approved once you've submitted it, unless you have a reason for them to expedite the process, which maybe you'll get it done in 6 months. We got it done in 2 months.
Whoa.
2 months.
How did that happen?
Well, a gentleman named Ken had helped with the narratives and all the process, made sure everything was completely clear as to what our mission was, our goals, and what we were able to do. And then we prayed over it, let this land on the right person's desk to touch their heart and get this moving. In 2 months, it was letter of, determination was on our desk. So it was affirmation we were doing the right thing and on the right track.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Well, and that's why you're here tonight, because I love the 501c3 organizations that out of a need that's seen in the community, a group of people decide to okay, let's just feed the homeless, let's just do this. Take care of the people who are hungry and who need help, and, and then not just giving it to them, they are earning it, but you're providing the services that they can come there and learn how to get a job. And I love the whole thing with getting their proof of identity back. I mean, I can't even imagine. Well, it's like the people in Puerto Rico and, down south in Florida and in Texas. They were devastated by the floods and the winds of the hurricanes, and I'm sure that's one way you lose your proof of identity.
Right.
In a catastrophic storm or something, or a fire, a house fire, and then you don't have any insurance or you don't have any pension built up to rely on. And I reached out to a friend of mine, a client. She's living in Vieques, Puerto Rico, this past week, and it just dawned on me, I'm like, how's Sarah? I wonder, it's like I just didn't think I knew anybody in Puerto Rico, but then I realized I did. So I wrote her an email and I said, if you could get this, please let me know you're okay. I don't know, are you okay? I mean, it's just like, I'm just thinking, am I writing to somebody who doesn't exist anymore, which just really upset me. And fortunately, 2 days later, I got an answer. And
it's a long wait.
It's a long wait, and but it took her a while to get to where she could do email, and she's not in Puerto Rico right now anymore. They did get out, and she went back to Chicago, but they don't have a home, so that's going to be rebuilding, and she does want to go back there and live, but, and she may have the wherewithal to do that, but the country doesn't really have the systems in place. So you kind of got to wait till they have their act together, and we all need to pull together and continue to give to these wonderful resource outlets that are helping, and hopefully that they can help Puerto Rico's government get back on its feet too. I just feel awful for everybody there. I mean, I'm so glad the fellow from Hamilton, he wrote Hamilton, and he went there and he's helping a lot. Manuel, somebody will tell me on Facebook.
Yeah.
But he, we really are appreciative of our neighbors who do so much for the rest of us. And thanks for joining us tonight. Everybody out there who is going home for Thanksgiving, please be safe. If you're taking a train, plane, or an automobile, they say it's the busiest time, and that this is the most traveled of any Thanksgiving.
Of any holiday.
Of any holiday.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. It's the pinnacle. I mean the pinnacle.
Pinnacle. The pinnacle. So I hope everybody will be safe. And are you going to be open on Thanksgiving, or are you closed?
Not.
You're closed.
We're closed Thanksgiving Day. There are a couple other churches and a restaurant actually that will be open tomorrow.
Oh, that's good.
We had our big meal tonight.
Oh. And
we have enough turkey and dressing and everything to last us at least another week. And
leftovers.
We'll get leftovers from tomorrow's meals that are around. it's going to be a lot of turkey.
I love turkey leftovers.
We closed Friday. Because
You're closed Friday,
We have a
okay.
big septic system redo that's going to happen. So back in business Saturday for our regular services.
Okay, and your regular services are 6 days a week, so not on Sunday, is that
Right.
mostly?
Right.
And then, so Monday through Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And you can contact Brenda at 772-781-7002, extension 106. And drop by if you have the desire to volunteer. I'm sure they'd be happy to have you.
Sure.
And you have some hours, they're kind of like rotated hours where they can do one thing or the other, the morning shift, the afternoon shift. Tell people about that.
Yeah, we need people helping out in the food pantry, the clothing pantry. There's a lot of sorting of cans of food in boxes and bags. We mark out the barcode, we put the date on them, and then get them in storage properly. Getting bags prepared for, like this Saturday, will be open to the community. Generally, it's 30 to 40 households that are represented that come through. And those bags are pre-packaged. The clothing, it's an endless amount of clothes that come through that need to be sorted. And what we can't use, we give to House of Hope. Or
good.
To there's a couple other churches that'll come by and pick up what we have that's wearable, and other things that just we have no use for. They go to Goodwill. But if it's not trash, it doesn't go in the trash. Same
That's
thing
good.
with the food that comes. The bread, once it starts to go bad, goes to a pig farmer and a turkey farmer. So we just don't like to throw things away if they're usable.
It's useful, yeah, and it's good that you're recycling.
Exactly. And waste management
basically
is good about that too. We're able to recycle everything in one of the bins. We could use somebody back helping monitor where the showers and laundry are. You know, when folks are signing up and bicycle repairman. It'd be wonderful to have a couple volunteers that could come in and put a few hours in a few times a week because the bicycles just keep coming and they're not ready to ride.
Okay, and even donated bicycles. If you would like to have bicycles donated.
Ready to ride.
Ready to
We have
ride.
Plenty of them that need to have repairs of some sort.
Okay. And because you're 501c3, everything is deductible. It's a charitable deduction.
Exactly.
Right?
We have donation receipts ready anytime.
Okay, that's good. And the case management services, that's what's so good that you do offer that, or you offer to connect them to social services.
Right.
So if they need mental, help, something like that. Because I think one of the things we don't talk about in our country enough is mental health.
Sure.
That it's as important as our physical health. And I was fortunate enough to be in Chicago for the Realtor Association, the National Realtor Association, and Michael Phelps was the speaker. And he spoke about mental health and how he had his own issues with mental depression and came to the point of suicide. So people don't think about that you're on top of the world, you have 27 gold medals, why would you contemplate suicide? Well, sometimes you get sick and you don't know you're sick and you don't know why, and it's
very frustrating.
It is very frustrating. So it's good that you address that and helping them obtain housing, but also obtain the services they need for whatever is going on with them.
Even basic medical problems, they don't have insurance, and some of them, we have 60-year-old women and men in there that haven't had a physical or checkup of any sort, and they've got blood pressure problems. Some of them are stroking, heart problems. There's any number of things. So we try to get them hooked up with Volunteers in Medicine.
Yes, and Volunteers in Medicine
Fantastic.
is going to be coming up in December.
Good.
And yes, and I'm so excited. We might be going there. That might be another off-site remote. We're going to have lots of fun.
Wow.
Mary Fields is a friend of mine,
Good.
and she was on the show a while back last year, and I ran into her and I said, Mary, you need to come back on the show. And then I went, and I had such a good time doing Starstruck on remote. I was like, maybe we could come and see what you do there. It's like, I think that's what helps open this up to everybody in the audience.
Get a visual.
A visual, right. It's nice to see the three-dimensional person involved and hear about all the services. It's different than just going on and reading the information. But, drop by Love and Hope in Action on Salerno Road. I know that Brenda would be happy to have you.
I will give you a personal tour.
A tour.
Medical tour.
And we'll do a tour in the January month when you're going to be back on. But I think it's fascinating that in 2016, LaHaya provided these services. 29,500 meals, 3,334 warm showers, 808 loads of laundry, 780 rides to essential medical, dental, or other appointments, 485 individuals utilize your community food pantry. Oh my goodness. So you do need new volunteers to help with that commitment. And I know that there are a lot of people who would like to give a helping hand. So if you do, just call Brenda at 772-781-7002 or drop by Love and Hope in Action at Salerno Road, 1760. Like their page. It's lahia.org is their website for donating. So you definitely want people to go on and donate, right?
Right.
Yes.
And
donate.
remember us when you're doing your Christmas shopping on Amazon. Use the Smile Amazon.
Oh yes, that's right. Now
it's on the website.
It's on the website. Yeah. So there's a link there, and Amazon will match. Is that right?
A percentage of it.
A percentage of it.
It's a small percentage, but we're all
Hey.
the Amazon shoppers. So.
Yeah, that's great. That is a wonderful, wonderful venture. So I just want to thank Brenda Dickerson and from Love and Hope in Action for being on the show tonight. Thank you everybody out there for listening. And thanks for Ada Jimenez joined, and Heather Saunders, Brian Moriarty. Thank you for joining Donna Moore. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Mary, your sister. And Colleen Denard and Terry Molka and Lisa Pinkley. Love you all. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And just remember to be safe. And I hope that everybody gets to be with their loved ones on Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm going to be flying out at the crack of dawn. Remember those who cannot be with their families this Thanksgiving due to circumstances beyond their control, and keep them in your prayers. I'm talking about Charlottesville, talking about Las Vegas, Sutherland Springs, Texas, the hurricanes Harvey, Irma, Maria, and Jose. My thoughts and prayers go out to everyone, and just be grateful for all you have. Remember to hug your family members and friends and tell them how much they mean to you. Frank, you mean so much to me.
Oh,
Thank
so
you.
Sweet.
And Brenda, you mean so much to me, and I'm going to give you a hug. Yeah.
Thank you, Julia, for
Yeah.
having us on.
I'm so happy to have you here. It means a lot to me that you're helping a good portion of our population who can help themselves if they're given the assistance to do so.
Right.
And you're proving it. I mean, go on the website, go on lahia.org, like her page on Facebook, like the Martin County Difference page, please, and share it with your friends, share the show. And again, this will be on YouTube later tonight and on iTunes as a podcast. So you can carry it around on the phone with you and listen in again. And I want to thank everybody. And next week, we're going to be at Audi Stewart for Women's Club of Stewart. We're having the big gala sponsor party for the Holiday Home Tour, which is coming up the first week of December, the first Sunday. And then after that, I'll be at Starstruck Theater. And don't forget, go to starstruckfl.org and donate there. We got to keep the kids in the theater, got to keep that going on. And it's just been my honor and pleasure to have Brenda Dickerson tonight, Executive Director of Love and Hope in Action, Lahia. So, hiya, everybody. And good night, and thanks, and see you next week on the Martin County Difference. Don't forget, we'll be out on site at Audi Stewart. Thank you, and good night.
Good night. Thank you. It goes by fast.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we came on, I didn't know what to do. I don't know what to say, but it went really fast. Thank you very much. You're bringing a lot of positivity out there.